Hey folks, welcome to this new lesson. We're going to talk about great song, great classic rock song called Don't Fear the Reaper. This song is for all the oyster lovers out there, Blue Oyster Cult. Great song, and very simple tools to play that song, and we're going to go through them. There's several parts. If you listen to it first, it might seem like a long song, and it's quite a long song for this kind of a genre, about 5 minutes. But there's a lot of repeating parts and a few lead tricks in there that are going to be very useful, I think, for your own playing. Very simple tools that hopefully will inspire you to create your own songs and maybe sell millions of records as well, just like they did. So let's go part by part, and we'll start with the intro. Get your guitar tuned. We're tuned in standard tuning here. And let's get ready to work. Let's start with the intro. The intro is made of 4 chords, 4 very easy chords. When you started playing guitar, you probably encountered these chords. We have a simple A minor chord, the open position. We're using 5 strings here, the 5 top strings, so we're not playing this low E string. And it's almost like an E major shape, you know, middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Ring finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, right underneath. And the index finger is going to go on the 2nd string, 1st fret, leaving the 1st and 5th string open. And here's a nice A minor chord. That's for that first chord. And then we have a G major. G major chord, there's several different positions you can use here, but I tend to use the one with the pinky. The pinky is going to go on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Then you're going to leave a bunch of strings open here, and we're going to play on the 5th and 6th string. I'm going to put my ring finger on the 6th string, the little E string, 3rd fret. And the middle finger is going to go on the 5th string, 2nd fret. And if you play these 6 strings together, you have a nice open G major chord. The other option, if this fingering is a little bit difficult for you, some people have trouble with the pinky. The pinky is quite a weak finger. You can cheat a little bit, which is a valid option, really. It's not really a cheat, it's just a different way to playing this. Basically, same fingering, but different fingers. So not the same fingering. We're going to start with the middle finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret, instead of the ring finger. Middle finger this time. Index finger goes on the 5th string, 2nd fret. Then leave these strings open here. And instead of using your pinky, which is the weak finger, we're going to replace the pinky with the ring finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to play it that way. So that's a G major. Then comes an F major. F major is a chord that a lot of beginner students find difficult because it's a bar chord. A bar chord is basically using the same finger for more than one fret, barring these frets together. So it requires a lot of strength. But for this particular song, we're not going to do the complete F major position. We're going to cheat a little bit. Once again, not a cheat, just a different option. Easier. And instead of playing the full F major chord here with these 6 strings, we're simply going to place 2 fingers on this chord. The index finger on the 6th string, 1st fret, and the ring finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret. And we're going to use the 4th string, but we're going to leave it open. So it's a variation of F major. And I told you there's 4 chords, but really there's 3 because the 4th chord is the same chord as the 2nd chord, which is G major. So we've got an A minor chord, a G, an F, that cheat there, and back to G. So we're going back and forth. A minor, G, F, G. And we're going to play these chords in arpeggios. An arpeggio basically is a chord, more than one note played at the same time. But instead of playing all these notes at the same time, strumming that chord, you're going to play this chord one note after the other. Just like that. And it creates something a little bit more melodic. You know, it flows a little bit better and it works really well in this song. So we're going to arpeggiate these 3 chords that we talked about. Here's how we're going to do it. For the A minor chord, we're going to play only on 3 strings, strings 5, 4, and 3. And your left hand position stays the same. just like for A minor. And we're going to start strumming the 5th string open, followed by the 4th string 2nd fret, followed by the 3rd string 2nd fret. And here's a little trick. On this same string, the 3rd string, you're going to release the ring finger, which is on the 2nd fret. You're going to play that string open. So I'm playing 4 notes. My right hand is playing strings 5, 4, 3, and 3 again, but this time I'm going to release the ring finger so that it's an open string. Just like that. And that works over an A minor chord. Then comes the G major chord that we talked about earlier. This time we're not going to play the full G major. We're going to start on the 6th string, followed by the 5th and the 4th, and then the 3rd string. So 4 notes, string 6, 5, 4, 3. So really we don't even need the pinky here. I showed that to you earlier just for the purpose of your own improvement, but you don't need it in that song. So here are the 2 first chords, A minor, and then G major, just the beginning of G major, the first 4 notes. Followed by the F. Remember the easy F that I showed you? It's almost like a power chord F. Index finger on the 6th string 1st fret, followed by the ring finger on the 5th string 3rd fret. And then you're going to play strings 4 and 3 open. So here are these 3 chords all together. And then back to the G, just like you played it earlier. So you got A minor, G, F, and G. Get comfortable with these 4 chords. 3 chords really, one is repeated, the G, because you're going to find this combination of chords throughout the song, and it requires a lot of concentration, especially if you don't have a singer. If you sing with the track, it's going to be easier to keep track of these chords, but make sure you're comfortable with that. It seems simple, and it is quite simple, but if you've got to play this 5 minutes, it requires really a lot of concentration and precision. So make sure you're familiar with these. And just a final note on this opening riff, which is found throughout the track. Notice that on all these 4 chords, this note right here, which is a G open, is repeated. You can hear it throughout the chords. Hear that note? Well, that little principle can be applied to your own compositions. If you listen to songs that are successful, a lot of them have this concept of repeating some notes, keeping some notes in common. And if you want to sound melodic, if you want to sound appealing, that's something to keep in mind. Whether you're playing lead or creating a simple ballad like that, try to find some notes in common to the chords you're dealing with, and use them over these chords. That's really gonna, I think, help your compositions sound a little bit more appealing, because the human ear loves to recognize things. Probably happened to you. You probably heard the latest Britney Spears song on the radio, and days after, you sing it, and all your friends make fun of you, but that's because your ear recognizes that. It takes pleasure in recognition and recognizing things. Apply that to your own music and write something cool. Anyways, that was a little side note. That's for the intro. And this intro, these 4 chords, are the same exact chords that you'll find in the verse. So if you look at the tabs, you'll have the intro and the verse together. Same exact thing. All right, that's for the intro. And now we're going to move on to what I call the pre-chorus. And we'll talk about this. The pre-chorus is quite similar. Same chords, A minor, G, F, except that we're going to add a couple chords just before this opening part that we talked about, the arpeggios. And we're going to add a few chords here. We're going to add a G and an F. I'm going to start with the F. So once again, the F, you don't need to play the full bar chord F. There's no point in that, because we're only going to play the first 2 or 3 notes of that F, depending on what your pick feels like playing. It's not going to make a huge difference. We're going to play a power chord. I mentioned power chords in the previous scene. A power chord is a powerful chord, and that's why it's used in rock a lot, in metal, and it's basically the chord you need to know if you want to be a rocker. And a power chord basically is made of two notes. The root, which tells you which chord you're playing with. If you're playing a C major, the root's going to be C. If you're playing a C minor, the root's going to be C also. That gives you the name of the chord. And the fifth, and the role of a fifth is to add more strength to the root. It's quite similar than the root. They have the same kind of harmonics together, but it's going to help your chord just be more powerful, power chord, also known as a 5 chord. So this is an F5 or an F power chord, and here's how it's played, just like the intro. Index on the 6th string, 1st fret, and ring finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret. And these two notes together create an F5 or an F power chord. I mentioned earlier that you can play 2 or 3 notes. If you want to play it with 3 notes to have even more strength in your chord, you can add another root an octave higher with either your pinky on the 4th string, 3rd fret, or you can play a little bar with your ring finger that's going to cover the 5th on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and the root on the 4th string, 3rd fret. Same effect, it doesn't really matter. That's for the first chord of the pre-chorus, F, and then you're going to play the same thing for G. A G power chord, or a G5, which is the same position, 2 frets higher. So instead of playing 1, 3, 3, I'm going to play 3, 5, 5. And once you get these 2 chords, you're going to go back to the intro or the verse. That's pretty much it. So you've got F, and then we're going to play a combination of this of these 4 chords again. There is one more little variation here in the pre-chorus. The second time around, we're going to replace the G by an E. I'm going to play an E power chord. E power chord is really easy. One finger, the index finger is going to cover the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and the 6th string open. So you've got your root and your 5th, and if you want to play this with 3 notes, you can double the root an octave higher with your index again, which is going to do a little bar here, covering the 5th and 4th string on the 2nd fret. So 2 power chords, 3 power chords, F, G, and E. And then a combination of the intro. Here it is all together. We're going to put everything together. For the pre-chorus, we're going to start with an F, a G, and then we're just going to play an A minor. We're going to leave that open, and then repeat F, E, and then go back to the intro or the verse. So once again, F, G, and A, let it ring, back to F, G, and then repeat the verse. That's it. On this A that I'm letting ring, you can either play an A minor, the regular A minor, or you can play it this way, taking off the index finger, which is an A sus2. That's the name of the chord. Because you've got a 2nd right here. It doesn't really matter. So either A minor or A sus2, which is without the index finger. Like that. And if you want, instead of having this A minor ring like that for a full measure, you can add a few notes. As long as you keep, a steady rhythm, steady tempo, it doesn't really matter. That's for the pre-chorus, so very similar than the intro and the verse. We're just adding a few power chords here. Make sure you work on this, and if you're a little confused about when to play these chords, make sure you check out the tabs. Everything is explained well, and you shouldn't have any trouble with the pre-chorus. After the pre-chorus, we're going to talk about the chorus, and that is coming up. The chorus, if you know the intro and the verse, you know the chorus pretty much. There's only one little thing I need to mention here. We're going to have a rest in the chorus. Basically, we're going to repeat these 4 chords again that we had in the intro and verse several times. Just make sure you check the tabs. And at some point, we're going to rest on the A. Little pause here. And about this little pause, there's something we can learn about that pause. As you know now, this song is made of 4 chords pretty much, you know, repeating over and over and over. And this little pause is really welcome in this rather long track because it helps the listener breathe, and it's going to introduce us to new parts in the lead, in the song construction. There is a bridge in there that is preceded by that rest chord. And that's going to take us into the bridge. We'll talk about the bridge. That's the tricky part of the song. But just, yeah, whenever you write something, try to remember to add some pauses like we did here on that chord. Short scene, isn't it? Now we're going to check out the complex part of the track, which is the bridge and the solo. Let's check that out.